Good evening. Well, if you have been out and about tonight, then you already know it's very much tales of the expected with our weather at the moment, meaning even further fog and frost problems. The main trouble spots being the far northeast of England as well as southern Scotland. So once again, a reminder to keep your speed way down, use your fog lights, and do keep your distance. In fact, wherever you happen to be driving in the country tonight, do take it easy. The only totally fog-free areas are likely to be Northern Ireland as well as the very far northwest of Scotland. There's too much cloud around. And here we see the mildest temperatures of all. Elsewhere, they really do come tumbling way down again, and we are expecting a sharp, widespread frost. So as we go into tomorrow, it's the by now familiar scenario of that fog lingering on in a fair few places and bleak skies for most of the country. Some faintly brighter slots there in the southeast and possibly West Wales as well. Although come afternoon, things do get a lot brighter, and we see some reasonable amounts of sunshine coming through in the northwest of England, for instance, as well as the southwest and the southeast as well. So a brighter weather picture all in all. These are the resulting temperatures. West does seem to be best, a high of 9 or 7 in the southwest, and that's round about the high 40s in Fahrenheit terms. That's all from me for another day. Good night.
Good evening. Now the latest news from Central. A father who shook his 6-week-old baby to death is tonight beginning a life sentence for murder. The baby's mother was also jailed after being found guilty of cruelty.
It was, according to doctors called in to treat baby Jade Norton, one of the worst cases they've ever dealt with. Throughout the 7-day trial at Nottingham Crown Court, the jury were given harrowing details about the tiny child's last tragic weeks. According to experts at the Queen's Medical Centre, the attacks on the child probably began just 10 days after she was born. By the time of her death, aged just 6.5 weeks, she was underweight, her ribs had been fractured 30 times, front and back, both thigh bones had been broken, and she'd suffered massive brain damage. Her father, 29-year-old Paul Norton, who lived in the Aspley area of Nottingham, had denied murder. His 24-year-old wife, Annette, who denied cruelty, said she had no idea Jade was badly injured and in pain. After 5 hours, the jury of 4 women and 8 men convicted them both. Jailing Paul Norton for life, Mr. Justice Blofeld said the baby could not have known a day without pain. Later outside the court, relatives commented on her 15-month sentence.
She's been found guilty. She'll do a sentence, and once she comes out of doing that sentence, all I wish that the general public will leave her alone.
A murder hunt has begun after the battered body of a bookmaker was discovered in Lincoln. It's believed 61-year-old Joe Rylett was robbed.
The brutal murder of the bookie known simply as Our Joe has rocked the lower High Street area of Lincoln. Christened Norman Rylett, the popular bookmaker became known as Joe throughout the city, and his busy street corner business adopted that name. Mr. Rylett lived on the premises, and it wasn't unusual for him to work late in the office behind the shop. It was there that his son found the body shortly before 9 o'clock this morning.
We know that Mr. Rylett was seen somewhere around 6 o'clock last night, and the body was discovered at 9 o'clock this morning. So one of my early appeals will be for anyone who saw him in that timescale to come forward and talk to me.
As the murder hunt got underway, news of the death of the bookmaker who lived in a flat above his shop was slowly reaching neighbours.
Oh, Joe? Yeah, he was found murdered this morning. Good gracious. Well, I've never ever heard a word against the fella. No.
Detectives say they believe the motive was robbery, that cash had been stolen.
A 46-year-old man from Heanor in Derbyshire has been charged with the murder of a chef.